to get to the next one. Let's look at that one. Can you see that one? It's stated clearly. That is this one. Let's do it fast as part of our activity on the nominal. And then let's try to work it together. And then it's stated as follows. Let's try to be fast. It says 150,000 was invested on the bond for a period of 7 years. For the first 4 years, the interest was 12% per annum, compounded quarterly. Invested. Okay. If then changed to 8.75% per annum compounded monthly, after 2 years, another deposit of 2,000 was made. Calculate the final amount at the end of 7 years, which means this one is based on the timeline. Remember the timeline, as you can see that it says after the second year, another deposit of 2,000 was made. Okay, so which means we have to work on our timeline here. It's drawn, must be drawn. We must draw our timeline. Let's try to create our timeline. In this case, the timeline is drawn up in years. We draw it up in years. Okay. Let's try to. We are not going to draw it to scale. We draw our timeline here. This is not drawn to scale. The timeline. We have to divide it in such a way that we've got how many years? We said the timeline is based. It's up in years. So here we've got T0. There's no year. And then we've got T1, year 1, year 2, year 3, T4. Okay, let me just continue. Okay, let me complete my number timeline here. So we've got T5, T6, and then T7. Okay, here is our timeline that I've drawn it for you. Okay, all right. As you can see that along the way, while you're using the timeline based on this additional statement says after the 2 years, another deposit of 2,000 is happening here. Okay, so which means at the beginning, what is happening before we can complete a single year? We've got 15,000. What is that? 150,000 here at the beginning. This is the lump sum. It's 150,000 years. It's clear. 150,000, and then at year 2, after 2 years, which means after 2 years, around this time, we'll have 2,000 at a day. Am I right? So you after 2 years, another depositing of 2,000, which means on top of this we add this one. Okay, and then, but now what? When does this 12% per annum compounded? It compounded quarterly. For how long? For 4 years. For 4 years. Can you see that? Which means up to here. From here. What is it? 12% per annum compounded quarterly. Can you see that? Quarterly. This happened quarterly, 12% for 4 years up to the period. With the inclusion that at the second year, after second year, 2,000 have been deposited on that continuously quarterly of 12% interest compound on 150,000. Okay, and then after 4 years, what happened? If then changed to 8.75 per annum compounded monthly, if changes, which means after 4 years, it's going to be changed to what? To 8.75 monthly, which means after now up to 7 years here, it's going to be changed to 8.75% per annum monthly. But this time it's going to happen monthly after 4 years. But for the period of 4 years, it happens for 12% quarterly, per annum quarterly. But after that 4 years, this is what's going to happen. Okay, that's the timeline. But remember, in addition, on the second year, after second year, 2,000 have been added, which means along here, this interest of 12% quarterly up to 4 from second year, then it's with addition of 2,000, and also after 4 years at 8.75 per annum monthly, 2,000 is also included. Okay, this is how we interpret the timeline. This is our timeline. This is what we expect at the end of 7 years. The amount will be, what will be the amount be? Okay, all right. After, so we're saying amount after 2, what is it, 2 is equals to its investment, so which means it's going to be 150,000, which is your P, into 1 plus 0.12, which is 12%, divided by 4, which is something that is studied quarterly, divided by 4. Your N is for 4 years. We multiply by 4 there, and then this is also multiplied by 1 plus 0.0875 divided by 12, which means it's monthly, and then all raised to, for how long? This is 12. How many years? 1, 2, 3 years. This only happens, this investment only happens within 3 years' time, concurrently with this one. Okay, so what do you have there? All right, so that's the picture, but this is not only the end. So what should happen there after 4 years? There is also additional, let's say, amount that we must also add it to this one. What is that amount? Let's say it's A4. After this happen, after this is going to be 2,000 rand invested, 2,000 rand into 1 plus 0.12 divided by quarterly. For how long? It's 2 years multiplied by 4, which is for 2 years. Remember this one of 2,000 at 12%, because it's after 2 years. It's 1, 2. This is 2 years. Okay, so, and then also, what do we have here? Multiplied at the interest of 8.75. It's 1 plus 0.0875 divided by 12 into 3 years. 1, 2, 3 years times 12. Then what is going to happen here? We're saying the total A is equals to A2 plus A4 to distinguish the two. Okay, it's after 4 years, the first 2 years, and so on. Okay, now what is the answer? Then it's for 2 years and another 2 years around that time. So what is the total here? What is important, you must get the answer for this one. All right, and then also calculate this one. If we add them together, let's try to punch it fast. It's gonna be 3, 1, 5, 9, 5, 3, and 22 cents. So this is to the nearest cents. So then this is the final answer. Now, in a nutshell, if you look at this exercise, it's so interesting under this topic. It's all about the timeline one, whereby we have to look at this. Everything happened within 2 years' time, and also within 4 years' time, under 12% with the inclusion of 2,000 rand, because this is going to be amount that you're going to get there within these 2 years. And again, after 4 years, then we have to get another amount out of 2,000 rand at the interest of 8.75%. Okay, so that's the picture of what you have. This is how we distinguish the two based on the timeline. So what is crucial is to understand clearly what we are supposed to do there. Okay, all right. Now I want to say in a nutshell and close this chapter for today, and then somebody's going to continue the other part of financial mathematics from what we have done today. I want to say thank you for your time, and remember that what is important is all about reading the statement and then interpret the phrases and also substitute them. Okay, all right. With those notes, then I'll say to you, thank you for your time. See you next time.